Welcome back, business owners. I want to give you some great content today based on something called the Feel, Felt, Found method. Feel, felt, found. And the basis for this teaching was best made famous by Dale Carnegie and is specifically outlined in a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, which we will use later in our leadership training portion of content in the SLAM Institute library. But today we're going to leverage the Feel, Felt, Found method as it pertains to dealing with resistance in stalls that customers may throw at us when it comes to getting a sale completed or closed, right? So one of the favorite ways in which I like to do this, assuming I have solved this customer's problem, right? And they give me the ever so famous, we need to go home, right? I'm showing you the resistance. We need to go home and measure. If I had $1 for every time that's been said on one of the retail floors on which I have worked, I would be retired. And the reality is that a very small percentage of those people who need to go home and measure, this is exactly what we want. And I just need to go home and measure. Very few people that say that actually come back. It is something that a sign they put out in front of their indecision to give them permission to not make a decision or a commitment. So certainly there will be a role here for what we call the smoke out, meaning you need to find out why are they really leaving. If you believe they're really going home to measure, then you're a part of the problem, right? That's how amateurs think. Professionals understand that it's just a sign they put in front of their behavior that, oh, well, I'm leaving because I need to go home and measure. That's just something they want to say so they don't hurt your feelings and not tell you that they really don't like it or it's more than they can spend. And we've already dealt with that, so you need to go back and check that content out so you're prepared to deal with that. Another way, though, that I have dealt with that in the past is what we call Feel, Felt, Found. And so let's say that customer says, oh, I need to go home and measure. Here's how we might respond using Feel, Felt, Found. I can understand exactly how you feel. Matter of fact, many of my best clients who return time after time again have felt the exact same way, and I agree. It's wise to go home and measure and make sure everything's going to fit. What we have found, though, that our best guests, the ones that come back time and time again and who have an incredible experience with our company, what we have found and what we've done for them specifically is we've allowed them to buy the same day that they've identified exactly the solution. And we've allowed them to lock in their savings for the promotion that's going on for that day, which is incredible today, by the way. And that allows them to reserve the inventory or their space in the production run to minimize the amount of time that they will be without their product. And as if that wasn't all good enough, we then allow them a good 48-hour cancellation window for them to go home, take the measurements necessary, and make sure it's going to fit. So we've managed all the risk, and we've found that our best clients just prefer that method. Now, earlier you told me you live in Salisbury. May I have the street address so I can go ahead and begin your paperwork? Notice how the Feel, Felt, Found rolled right into a close? That's what a courageous business owner does. Here's the reality. I've just given you great content. But more often than not, a weak RSA-minded person pulls out that card when they say they want to go home and measure and waves it around and gives them a card and hopes that the person's going to come back. Let me tell you something. Hope is not a strategy. Let me say that again. Hope is not a strategy. You need to work this system courageously. Use the smoke out. Use Feel, Felt, Found, but stand in there and ask for the sale. You've solved the problem. Think about it. If they really needed to go home and measure, and I'm telling them that they can lock in their savings, they can enter the sale, they can reserve their inventory, and I'm going to give them 48 hours to confirm measurements, why would they say no? See, this gets us one step closer to finding out why are they really leaving. And most often, it is not due to measuring. And most customers that tell you they need to go home and measure are not telling you the truth. They may have even convinced themselves that that's why they're leaving, but the reality is that they want permission to not make a decision, and equally they need permission to make the right decision, which is the solution that you have offered. Take control, don't be weak. Use Feel, Felt, Found to get one step closer and ask for that sale again. This can be applied to that customer who wants to, this is the first store in which we've shopped today. You can leverage Feel, Felt, Found there. We need to go home and measure. We leverage Feel, Felt, Found there. There are so many ways to leverage Feel, Felt, Found. You just have the courage to do it.